Greetings, YouTube. I was having a conversation with my friend Amy recently, and she was lamenting the fact that so many gamers, particularly male gamers, get upset when they are not the protagonists in the game. And what I mean when I say that is that they don't see themselves reflected in that protagonist. And over the course of a couple of days, we'd also mentioned a number of other instances in society where people get upset when the quote unquote PC or SJW folks want to have representation of something other than white dudes in their media, in their books, and in their films, and their TV shows, and things like that. They want to see themselves reflected in the media that they are consuming. And this is really important that we have our media, games, and everything else reflect society at large. Society is not lily white. And it occurred to me as we're having these different conversations about these different particular topics that the problem is that so many white people seem to want to have everything around them be a mirror or a video camera, I guess. Because unless they see themselves reflected in that media, they feel somehow cheated. They feel that they have somehow lost out. Now, of course, women and minority groups have been having to align themselves with protagonists in games and films and books that are lily white for centuries. Because the people writing those stories and creating those forms of media and art were those in power, who were also lily white. And yet women and minority groups have been able to successfully enjoy those forms of media even though they did not see themselves reflected in them. Now, they wanted to, but they didn't. So when they did show up occasionally, they paid attention. But now, as we are entering a more inclusive era, you're seeing more and more minorities and women being represented in all forms of media because, in the case of women, for example, half of the human population is female. So, maybe we should be seeing them reflected in our media. Maybe we should be pushing towards seeing women in all positions of society. I know that's a radical feminist idea. But it's important that people see themselves in media. And when we're talking about society at large, we're not just talking about the lily white male members of society or the lily white female members of society. We're seeing everyone. So we need people of color. We need women in these roles. We need gay people. We need trans people. Because I gotta tell you, I look in the mirror every day, and even though I'm one of the most lily white dudes you are ever gonna encounter, I like a little variety, and I am actually capable of identifying with a character that doesn't look just like me.